So this is different. What's going on, guys? It's King Joker, and today I'm doing my very first One Piece chapter review. Today we'll be reviewing One Piece chapter 1090, Admiral Kizaru. Amazing title, amazing name for the chapter. This is going to be my second ever manga chapter review because I did the one about Minato in that manga one shot a couple weeks ago. So I wanted to see how this one tests out. And we're doing a new format. I don't know. The face cam is up. I mean, this might be some of y'all's first time seeing all this. Let's go ahead and straight get into the review because I'm very excited. But before that, I want to talk about what happened last chapter because York was defeated out of nowhere. We got that clean double page spread of everybody, Luffy eating and everybody and stuff. But I thought the way they were setting it up was, I thought we were going to be like fighting York for like a good 7-8 more chapters before we got her captured. But it seems like we didn't do that because once we found out that York was evil, we immediately cut to Sabu doing something inside of the story. But I know how Oda likes to do that. He likes to start something in one location and then go somewhere else, and then we'll come back when it's finished, like he did with Blackbeard versus Law. We started the story of the fight, and then it went on, and then we saw the end where Law lost, but he got away because of thankfully he got away. That's my favorite character in One Piece. But let's go ahead and get straight into the chapter. One Piece chapter 1090, Admiral Kizaru, and we got this nice cover page of Koro reading books with black cats because he is a black cat. I want Koro to come back into the story. There's two main villains I want to come back into the story, or Don K-Rig, mostly Gin, because he's on Don K-Rig's crew. I want Don K-Rig to come back, and I want Arlong to come back. But I think Arlong's at Marijois because he wasn't at Impel Down, and we know Hachi escaped from getting captured. So Arlong might be a slave in Marijois, and it's gonna be cool to go back and see that when we go to Marijois and we just see Arlong there and he's a slave, and it's gonna be like, haha, fuck you, nigga. I'ma laugh at that. That's gonna be hilarious. I hope they don't help him, but they probably will. Anyway, at the beginning of the chapter, we got Luffy screaming into the Dim Dim Mushi, talking about some "Hello, I'm Lucky D. Luffy," and obviously he's the man who's gonna be king of the pirates. Luffy always has to mention that every time he answers the phone that he's gonna be king of the pirates. We all know he is. He's the GOAT. And he says that they are in alliance with Dr. Vegapunk. If you care about York, say that they have to safely withdraw the fleet from around the shore. So they have York captured right now. Okay, so they have York captured, and they're technically holding her hostage at this point. Then we get to see everybody's reaction to this, and then we also see that Morgan is listening in on the conversation with a black Din Din Mushi, and I'm pretty sure that the range on the black Din Din Mushi should not be infinite. So most likely Morgan, Wapol, and Vivi are like really close to Egghead Island. So maybe if the plan to get off Egghead doesn't work out, we can get them to pick us up, and then we also get a reunite with Vivi. I'm really excited for that because the Straw Hats haven't seen Vivi in person since they left Alabasta, and obviously we got new members of the crew. We got Frankie, Brooke, and Jinbei on the crew now, so I'd be really excited to see them meet. And also, does Vivi know that Robin is on the crew? She does know because she probably saw a Warner poster or them in the news or something. But I wonder how surprised Vivi was when she found out that Miss All Sunday joined the Straw Hats. I want to see her reaction to that as well. But then we get the five elders, the five warriors. They're talking to Luffy. They say, "So you're Straw Hat Luffy, right?" Then he asks, "Hey, can you tell us the exact number of people that are with you?" And Luffy, being the dummy he is, he's just ready to get that information out. He's ready. He said, "If you count the injured, the number should be." Then Robin grabs the phone, hangs up, and then one of the dudes, I forgot which of the five elders this one is. I'm gonna have to try to memorize their names. He says a woman was on the phone. He recognized that it was Robin, and then that's gonna tie into something too because they really need Robin. They really need Robin because she's the only person who can read poneglyphs. So if they capture Robin here too, that's a dub. Then Robin hangs up the phone on him, and she tells Luffy, "You can't give them any information about us because obviously so Luffy's like, okay. They get on to him about that. So we cut back to Saturn. He's chilling. He says there are three main things that they need to protect inside of Vegapunk's lab. They need to protect York's safety. They need to make sure that York is safe, because she's the only Vegapunk that will actually like still work with them as long as they make her a Celestial Dragon. Which I want to say is kind of like, I understand why York wants to be a Celestial Dragon, because she's like a very powerful figure in the world, because she's Vegapunk. She's technically is still Vegapunk, but she has all like Celestial Dragon tendencies. Kind of. She's very powerful in terms of like status, okay? But she's a Vegapunk, but all she does is eat, sleep, and take dumps all day. Cause that's literally what York was built for. Because she literally does, she eats, she sleeps, and she takes dumps, so the other Vegapunks doesn't have to. So it would make sense why she would want to become a Celestial Dragon. But then one of the other vice admirals, I forgot which vice admiral this is, he tells them, what about the CP9 members, and what about the rest of the CP agents that are on the island? Do we not care about them? Then Saturn just straight up tells them, no, they're expendable, they're insects, we don't care about them niggas at all, leave them if we have to. Okay, so we cut back. York's over here crying because she's in danger, but she's bragging at the same time, because she says the 5 Elder Stars, she made a deal with them, so she's protected, and she knows that. She knows she's protected. But then Nami just slaps her. Nami just slaps the hell out of her and tells her to keep crying if she wants to. So then we cut to seeing the page, everybody chilling, everybody doing different stuff. Nami getting on to York, Brooke and Jinbei in the background chilling, Zoro trying to stop her. Robin, it seems like the fight of last night, the only people who are like kind of like very injured are Robin and Kaku. Kaku says he's ashamed of himself because even though he fought 2 Seraphim, he still got all banged up. But still. And then we got I think that's Lilith. Lilith is crying about Shaka and Pythagoras, because them niggas are dead now actually. Because it was confirmed that those two are dead. Shaka and Pythagoras is dead. Edison is damaged, but he's still good. Okay. So it's crazy. I did not expect both of them to die. But we're left. We got 5 Vegapunks left, and one of them is a traitor. So we got 4 Vegapunks left over good. So I thought this was gonna happen, where the Vegapunks might start dropping like flies until we just left with the original Vegapunk. It's crazy. But then we also see that Lucci is whispering to himself in the corner. This is I'm pretty sure he's telling the Marines about what's going on. He's telling the Marines, he's like, as for the Straw, he says, two of them are dead. As for the Straw Hat crew, Kaku stops him. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, don't worry about it. He's giving out information. So Usopp checks in on everybody that's downstairs, which is the CP agents. And the CP agents are down there having a big feast, because the Straw Hat saved them, and because the CP agents were down there starving for almost weeks. They down there starving because of York for almost weeks. So they're over there, so they're down there, they're praising the Straw Hat crew for saving them and giving them food and stuff. But then they ask, hey, by the way, can y'all get us the hell up out of here? Because they're really scared of the Seraphim. This is where we see that the Seraphim were actually captured. Okay, because they're caught in these bubbles that Vegapunk made. It says right here, of course, because those bubbles are made from the same bubble shield used by the Pacifista Mark IIIs. Those bubbles are bomb blast resistance, made the same properties of Sea Prism Stone. So that's why they can't escape it, because they're made with the same properties of Sea Prism Stone, which means since all of them are Devil Fruit users, they're stuck. So since all of them are Devil Fruit users, technically, they're all technically Devil Fruit users, they can't escape the Sea Prism Stone bubbles, okay? Then we find out that the one that actually did the unpurification spell for the Straw Hats in that situation was S-Snake, because she actually still has feelings for Luffy, even though she's just a clone. Even though she's a clone, she still has feelings for Luffy, which is crazy. And then Vegapunk finds this out, and he's like, oh, he's studying it. He's like, very interesting. Very interesting. I did not know that even the clones can still feel types of emotion for people, even in this state. So Luffy thanks S-Snake for saving them. Then we cut to one of the other Vegapunks. I keep forgetting their names. This one, the biggest one, the one that's like really big, that's a girl. she says, Stella, although the comm systems are working again, I still can't open the Frontier Dome. Then Stella says we can't escape here if we can't disable the barrier. That's when we find out that York actually put a lock on the barrier, that a password on it that she only knows. And she didn't share that information with the main brain and Punk Records, so none of the other Vegapunks know the password except her. So since York is the only person who knows the password, the other Vegapunks are like, okay, so we gotta figure out a way to open the barrier still. So then we get Sussy, and she tells that we're surrounded from every side, okay? There are over 100 ships and nearly 30,000 Marines on board. So this is Buster Call level. So as soon as that barrier is down, they're ready to nuke this whole island. I mean, they're not going to, but if the stuff that if this wasn't Vegapunk's stuff on here, they would have been nuked this hell. So Vegapunk asks where the navigator is, and Nami obviously responds to that. She says she's a navigator. Then they get to the Eternal Pose that she, not the Eternal Pose, the New World Log Pose that she has. And it turns out that the log pose hasn't adjusted itself to go to the new islands yet. So it's still focused on the islands that it was heading towards after Wano. And which means that we can just follow one of those locations. So she says this one is pointing northeast. Then Vegapunk says, yeah, that's where Elbaf is. Then Luffy and Usopp are shocked by that. There's like, Elbaf. Then they do the tongue thing. I'm not finna do that because it's gonna look weird if I do it, but I'll pop it up on screen for you. And then we also see that Robin is also intrigued by this. We also see Robin is intrigued by this because if we go to Elbaf, she'll also be able to see Saul, which I'm very excited for that reuniting because I'm so glad that my boy Saul is alive. So Luffy and Usopp do that little dance that they did back in Little Garden when they were talking about going to Elbaf because it's the land of the giants. And I'm excited for that as well because Usopp's whole character arc is gonna end there. And I don't know what Usopp's gonna do at Elbaf, but the arc's going to mainly surround him, okay? Whole Cake Island was mainly surrounding Sanji. Wano was kind of trying to set up like Zoro's past, but like a lot of that stuff got scrapped, I feel. So I know Usopp is gonna do something absolutely bombastic during Elbaf. We're just gonna have to wait and see. Let Oda cook, okay? Let Oda cook. The realm of the giants is gonna get lit. So Vegapunk tells them that we just have to get to their ship because their ship is still on the island with them. It's being guarded by Vega Force 1, that big robot that took it up in the first place. So all you have to do is get to Vega Force 1 and then just let it fly off the island. Although they're going to get chased, after it leaves like the range of Egghead, it's going to fall into the sea. But then that's when Frankie suggests that, okay, so after it does that, I'm just gonna hit a Kude burst, get a whole meter away, a whole kilometer away. And Vegapunk's like, oh, that's pretty cool, nigga. He didn't say that, but he says a whole kilometer. That ship is amazing. So we have the plan. Then also he says it's powered by Cola. Then Vegapunk's like, Cola? Nigga, how the fuck you get this shit powered by Cola? Okay, I'm gonna stop. So they had the plan set up. Now it's time to put it into action. York in the background, I hate talking about, y'all never gonna get the password though. So the 3 Vegapunks that we have left, there's like, don't underestimate the great Vegapunk. So they're all gonna start hacking it to try to get the barrier down. So Vegapunk sends out Lilith to command Vega Force 1 because she knows how to drive it the best probably. So her, Frankie, Luffy, and Joey Bonnie all leave the lab to go to the ship and activate Vega Force 1 so they can be ready to leave. So while they're running, Joey Bonnie and Luffy are talking about how they're gonna miss the food of the island. And Joey Bonnie says she wants pizza, but Luffy says that we got cheese on the island, so Sanji will be able to make us some pizza in there when we get on the ship. And then Julie Bonnie hits this little compliment from our boy. She said, I see what a great man, skilled at cooking and at the same time strong in battle. And this might be a little setup for my boy Sanji, you know what I'm saying? He still got pudding. Okay, he still got pudding. If Sanji and Naruto pudding, that might lead to something in the future. But hey, Joy Bonnie on the table for my boy. I'm just saying, you know, Joy Bonnie would easily fall in love with a guy like Sanji because he's strong and he can cook. Cause she had like 20 chefs on her ship, specifically so she can cook for her. But like, if she just had Sanji, she would not need 20 chefs. I mean, Luffy eats for like 30 people anyway, so it's crazy. So Luffy asked her, hey, so why are you in a good mood all of a sudden? It's so weird. And she says she's just in a good mood now that she's not trying to kill Vegapunk anymore. Because we know last night, actually, she went and then she experienced all of Kuma's memories. For some reason, she experienced all of Kuma's memories. And she was crying after that because she just probably went through a lot of traumatic stuff right there. But... So, and also, it was inside the bubble thing. I didn't know that was able to go for, like, memories and emotion, too. Does that mean when... No, because I don't think when Zoro took in Luffy's pain, he also got what all of Luffy's experiences during the arc of Thrill Bark. I don't know. But anyway, we go back to the ship. They said that Rob Lucci has made contact, and now they know what's happening inside. And Saturn goes to Kizaru, and he says, did you hear that? And then Kizaru says, Straw Hat's talking aggressively to deceive us and believing that he has control over the whole situation. But it doesn't change the fact that they're still cornered like rats. So, Saturn and Kizaru get to talking. They said the Frontier Dome defense that utilizes lasers, am I right? Can you get through it because you're a light human? Kizaru says that might be possible, but the one that Vegapunk stationed to guard the dome is a friend of his. And then Saturn's like, well, can't you just ignore him? And then Kizaru was like, I can't ignore a man who's determined to fight for his duty. Doing that will go against my ideals. Then I feel like Saturn looks at him and like, what are you talking about? But he can't say nothing or do nothing to Kizaru in this situation because he knows how powerful Kizaru is. So Kizaru says, furthermore, if we start our assault on Sentomaro, we'll surely order the Mecha Sea Beast weapons and the 50 pacifistas under his command to sink our fleet. The casualties will be enormous. So as soon as Kizaru gets in there, war is about to begin. We already know it's going up at Egghead. Okay, I'm talking. I'm finna get into it later. So Saturn is looking at this situation. He's mad. He's like, oh my gosh, this is getting too complicated. But they already have the info that Lucci gave them. So they're looking at the options here. So the Marines start getting to battle stations. They talk about stuff. They say how bombs won't work on the Sea Beast or the Pacifista, so they have to try other stuff. Everybody's getting ready. Luffy's bouncing around on the Sky Island part. You know what I'm saying? Get ready to go. He's finna see the Sunny again. Sunny looking good as always. Then shit start popping off. Okay? My boy Kizaru hits that Yata no Kagumi. Hits that light beam, immediately teleports inside of the factory, bounces everywhere, and looks at Sentomaru and says, oh yeah, it's up. Sentomaru already knew what time it was. Sentomaru said, Ojiki, it's on. Sentomaru said, let's get at it then. Ojiki. All pacifistas. Obliterate them niggas. Pacifista raising his arm. It's finna go up next chapter. I'm not playing. Okay? He says, Kizaru says, prepare yourself, Sentomaru. Then Sentomaru says, my defense is the toughest in the world. Okay? We get this clean shot of Sentomaru blocking one of Kizaru's kicks. Kinda doesn't make sense because he got stabbed in the back by Lucci like a couple chapters ago, but it is what it is, okay? The plot armor is working here. We zoom back to Luffy. Luffy says, hey everyone, someone very strong is here. Luffy recognizes Kizaru's aura. It's finna go up next chapter. I'm calm. It's going down next chapter, bro. There's no other way for me to describe it. Like, so Luffy senses that Kizaru is here. Now, this puts a little bit of fear into Luffy's heart, okay? Because Kizaru was smacking him back on Sabaody, and he hasn't seen him since then. I find it a little bit weird that he's doing this, Because if you remember back on Dressrosa, after everything was wrapping up and he fought Fujitora, he was down for it because his exact words were, why would I run away from a fight that I didn't have to do? Why would I run away from a fight that I ran away from 2 years ago? Because he was stronger now and he thought he could take Fujitora. Fujitora would have killed him right there, so I'm glad they actually got out of there, but still. I think he's more doing this because he's worried about the rest of the Vegapunks because Kizaru could easily kill all of them. So anybody who's like looking at this shot and assuming that, oh, Luffy's scared of Kizaru. Luffy terrified of Kizaru. He don't want no smoke. He think it's gonna be Sabaody all over. No, bro. Luffy is scared for the Vegapunks because Luffy knows what the Marines' mission is. The Marines' mission is to kill Vegapunk. So Luffy has to announce, hey, someone very strong is here. Y'all have to watch out. Because he know Kizaru could easily kill all the Vegapunks if they weren't protected by somebody. Which I'm pretty sure, like, they're finna be protected. Zoro might be with them. We might see a little clash with Kizaru and Zoro. Might see Luffy versus Kizaru. Most likely Kizaru won't be defeated here. I don't know what exactly is gonna go down next chapter. It's already up down there. 50 pacifistas versus 10,000 Marines. And you think that it's finna be safe? Heck no. That battle is finna go crazy. Stuff is already going down on Egghead Island, okay? Next chapter is finna be Elite. And there's no break this week. I can't wait to see. I see a lot of theories going on. Some people are saying that Luffy's most likely gonna fight Saturn. A lot of people saying it's gonna be Kizaru versus Zoro. It might be. I think where the Straw Hats at right now, they're a Yonko crew. So I think that Luffy and the Monster Trio are very much Admiral level at this point. I don't think Luffy could. Maybe Luffy could run hands with Akainu. Because here's the thing, a lot of people hype up Akainu's power level. Some people even think Akainu is Yonko level. That's not true. Because he's going to be like one of the final people that Luffy faced. And a lot of people say the same for Blackbeard. It's not really like that. Because some characters' power levels will like increase because of certain things, like Mihawk. Like Mihawk's one of the very first characters introduced into the story back in the East Blue. And that's what we can see is Yonko level, but he wasn't acting like that at Marineford. Neither was Akainu. Some people think it's gonna be that situation. I don't think the 5 Elder Stars aren't for Luffy or the Monster Trio to fight. The 4 Admirals, when it comes down to it, the 4 Admirals are going to be fought by Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, and Jinbei. But in the 5 Elders are going to be fought by the rest of the Straw Hat Pirates, most likely. Okay? So, I'm already tired of this recording. I've been talking for like 25 minutes straight, and I'm just ready to edit this video later. Hopefully I can get this out today. So make sure y'all let me know how y'all felt about this One Piece chapter review. I'll be back to y'all next week because we ain't got no break this week. Also, that last episode of One Piece was fire. I might do episode... Should I do episode... Not episode reviews. I might do episode... reaction videos. I'll see about it. With that being said, I'm gonna end it off right here. I should be uploading a South Park video either later today or tomorrow. I'll be getting, it's for the new South Park game. If you don't know there's a new South Park game out, I'm making a video about it. It's gonna be something short, 3 or 4 minute video. It's either gonna come out today or later tomorrow. We'll see. I'll see. But with that being said, I'm gonna end it off here, y'all. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and most importantly, don't forget to tell your mother that you love her. I'm gonna see you guys later. Room Shambles.